Gaining power by the favor of the gods is usual with many dynasties. It merely explains the Brahmana Chalukyas' attempts to assume Kshatriya status. More fanciful is the interpretation of the name Kanda Kalaiki Remanaka by Sten Kono. He takes this to be a Kannada word and writes, thus Kanda means child in Kannarese and Charlie, cold. Chalakiramananaka probably is Chelakiramaka, i.e., moon. Such a regular splitting of the word, instead of taking it as a whole compound, can give only fanciful meaning. The proper thing to do is to take it as Kandakalaiki of Skandakliki and the terms Ranaka or Ramaka being honorific prefix or suffix of the proper name Chalaiki. In the records of the Western Chalukyas the name of the family is given as Chalukya. Badami inscription of Kirtivarman I, Chalukya, Nera grant to Mangalesa, Chalukya, Mahakuta pillar inscription of Mangalesa, and Chalukya, I-hole pillar inscription of Pulakesine II. The Lona grant of Pulakesine II appears to read the name as Chulukikan, whereas the intended reading appears to be Chalukika. In later records we have the forms Chalukya, Chaluki, Norzari grant of Avanijanasraya Pulakesine of Gujarat, and Salaki, Guntur plates of Gunaga Vijayaditya III. As K.A. Nilakanta Sastri rightly points out, whether the name of the founder of the family is Chalaki or not, there is now little room for doubt that the Chalukyas like the Shutis and the Kadambas to whom they bear many resemblances, and like the Rashtrakutas, were an indigenous clan which rose to importance in the service of the later Satavahanas and their successors. They belonged to the Karnataka country, sometimes also called by the name Kuntala, and their mother tongue was Kannada. 30. Writing in Maharashtra State Gazetteer, N. Lakshmanarayana Rao has positively proved that the Chalukyas were Kannadigas. His arguments may thus be summed up. Some of the names of the rulers of the family end in a typical Kannada regal suffix arasa or king. Inscriptions refer to Kirtivarman I as Katiarasa, Kubja Vishnuvardhana as Bittarasa, Vinayaditya of the Gujarat branch as Mangalarasaraja and Kirtivarman II as Kirtivarmarasa. The name of the first paramount ruler of the dynasty, Pulakesine, further suggests their Karnataka origin. Pulakesi in Kannada means tiger-haired, or having a coat of short, thick and close hair like that of the tiger. Pole in Kannada means impurity of childbirth, the natal chamber. Kesi is a shortened form of cassava. The Vemulavada inscriptions of Ariksaran II, who belonged to a branch of this family and who was the patron of the Kannada poet Pampa, gives to this ruler some titles which are in Kannada, e.g., Nodit Gelvam and Priyagalam, though the inscription itself is in Sanskrit. 31 All these suggest that the Chalukyas were Kannadigas. Political history. Pulakesine I, 547 to 567. The first ruler who laid the foundations of the Chalukyan dynasty was a chieftain named Pulakesine I. He was the grandson of Jayasimha who fought the Rattas and the Pallavas, and the son of Rajasimha. Pulakesine made himself the master of the town of Vatapi and established a kingdom of modest dimensions. The choice of the capital, Vatapi, was dictated by strategic considerations, writes K.A. Nilakanta Sastri, and its neighborhood soon became studded with Chalukya monuments. Vatapi itself stood on the defensible eminence within 3 miles of the Malaprabha River. Among the hills to the east of Mahakuta, 5 miles farther in the same direction and on the river is Patadakal, and another 8 miles down the river is Ihole. All these witnesses of the Chalukyan ascendancy being noted for their ancient temples and inscriptions. 32 At the capital, Pulakesine built forts and began the excavations of the rock-cut temples. He proclaimed his paramount position by the performance of an Ashvamedha. He is said to have performed the Hiranyagarbha Dana too. He assumed the titles of Satyasraya, Shri Prithivi Vallabha and Ranavikrama. Kirtivarman I, 567 to 598. Kirtivarman succeeded his father Pulakesine I. He extended his ancestral dominions both in the east and the west. He is said to have conquered the Nalas, the Mauryas of the west coast and the Kadambas of Banavasi. He also secured control of the Arabian Sea coast with its flourishing ports. Mangalesa, 598 to 608. Kirtivarman was succeeded by his brother Mangalesa as Kirtivarman's son Pulakesine II was still young. Mangalesa continued